Hey everybody, this
Okay.
is James Pelton. How is everybody doing? We are here today. This is Pocket Aces. Justin is his actual name. Great guy, my community manager. We got to hang out in Ohio, got to meet in person, and had a great time. We actually roomed together, hot tubs together, played poker together. I mean, what have we not done
Not
together
done in our short week, a couple
in
of
our
days together.
short week, yeah, that we had? So I'm always inspired. One of my goals for my channel is I want to help people who don't like their 9 to 5 get out of their 9 to 5 and free up some time, give them some freedom to do what they actually want to do in life, not have to you know continue their 9 to 5. So Justin is one of those people who has successfully made that transition over from 9 to 5 to doing something else that he really enjoys. So in a lot of ways, I tell people, I think Justin is more inspiring and might have more to offer a lot of people than I do, because again, my story of starting my own software business and growing it and then selling it, that's not something that is going to be available for everyone at any time. But I think what Justin's done, just hustling around, and we'll let him tell his story so I don't steal too much of the thunder. But I think it's something that anyone could do starting today and could eventually make this their full-time gig. So excited to kind of talk through that, hear his story from his own words. If you guys have things you want to talk about or comments or questions or anything like that, please let me know. We'll direct the conversation. At the end, we'll probably do a QA. Maybe we'll talk about some projects that we're excited about, things like that. As we're going, need you to hit the like button. Again, that helps get traffic to people. Also, thank you, Funny Turo, for sending me all the conversation starter questions, so I can just steal one of those. The question I'm going to ask today: what song do you wish you could put on right now? What song? If you could listen to one song right now, let's change it a little bit. If you had to listen to one song for the rest of your life, what song would that be? Justin, what would yours be? And then we'll jump into your story.
You know what? I can never get enough of Disturbed's "Sound of Silence."
Oh yeah,
It's an amazing, amazing song.
that's a good one. It's true. I always watch the YouTube videos of like singing coaches being surprised. Singing
Oh
coach
yeah, when his
reacts
voice
to
comes out.
Disturbed
Yeah,
song of
yeah,
Sound of Silence. So yes,
yeah. His voice is
totally,
unbelievable.
totally agree with that one. Awesome. Well, hey, let's go ahead, Justin. Just in case there's people here, I know everyone in my community knows you, and everyone in any DeFi community knows you. But in case there's anybody here who doesn't know you, you want to give a brief introduction of yourself, and then maybe just take that into your story of
Sure.
how you are now no longer employed.
It's self-employed now, I guess, technically, or company owner, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Justin, Pocket Aces. Wife, 2 kids, just loved life and just doing my thing. I basically have always been into technology and all that kind of stuff, but never really did it schooling wise and all that jazz. My philosophy, I guess, if you will, is educating. That's how I've gotten my success in life. Is even when I've been in sales jobs, it's educate people, and by from there, I help them find whatever is important for them, and then they luckily my numbers always went good in all the sales jobs I've had. So I just family man, love life, love sports. I do play soccer. I don't really watch a lot of sports anymore. I find them too business-like to watch. What else about me? I don't know. These are all things I probably haven't really told on any of my channel and stuff. So,
Yeah.
other than that, basically everything turned in. So I ended up getting into DeFi about a year and a half, not even a year and a couple of months ago. I think it was Crypto Casey. I don't know if you know her. I think I kind of somehow started watching some of her stuff and just became my gateway drug, I guess, if you will, into DeFi space, and came in with too much money, put it all in nodes, diversified really well for a guy that worked for a bank for 25 years. I did a really great job of not doing what everybody else does in the space, and just lost a bunch of it. Some of the projects are still around, Thor and all those freaking things that are trying to make something of themselves, which is great, but we'll see. And then through there, obviously saw the problems in the space quickly after that, and realized as a bear market came in, how crappy it can be. And even during the bull, all the stuff we were throwing darts at a dartboard, and every so often we'd win, but so many times we'd get the rug pulled from under us. So just wanted something different. Stumbled on Kadena hashing, actually. Was probably the first place that started my journey to exiting my 9 to 5. They had a great community they were building. I really felt comfortable with them all. Became a mod in there, did my first video there just to show them how to work um, the wallets in Kadena, because they're different, as you're aware. So nobody really knew what to do. Nobody had really done any really good videos about it. So I did a couple. I was told they're good. I will never watch them again, because you never want to watch your first ones.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah. And then from there, just learned a lot from just doing those few things, and just kind of escalated from there. Got approached by, and then just started, I guess the biggest thing, and the biggest kind of thing for anybody, and where I can say anybody can do this stuff, is I just got involved in communities. As you alluded to, I got into a bunch of discords. I added value where I could, because I just sucked up the information as best I could, and spewed it out. And that's what led me to my first DeFi job, I guess, if you will, was where I got paid, which was modding for Wealth Mountain. We all know how that went, but they're actually trying to turn it around and not doing a bad job. But unfortunately, they've got a lot of skeptic people from their first endeavor, which I totally get and understand. So yeah, so I got that first job, started actually making a little bit of income, nothing crazy at all, but obviously went and saw the potential. Wasn't getting anything on YouTube. My YouTube obviously wasn't even monetized yet. Even now, I'm still, what is it, like $50 a month, I think I get for my little
Right.
2000s.
Yep.
So
Breaking into bucks, right?
yeah, exactly. So from there, just kept adding value, kept networking, I guess. My biggest way to explain it probably is just I networked with so many people. I met the people from Alchemy Trades, and started helping them create tutorial videos on how to use their product, which grew my channel exponentially, which was really awesome to see that kind of work turn into something of tangible, and seeing the people realize and add and thank me for the value I was adding was pretty awesome. And then from there, just kept doing the same thing, just networking. Obviously, had already watched you since Jack's Passive Income, and Murdoch, I think, were my three guys that I watched when I was learning and teaching myself DeFi a year ago. And so luckily got the opportunity to poke you a little bit, and then again, and then you kept saying you wanted a Discord, so I made you one.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And actually, that's I have a few questions for you, kind of about
Sure,
the beginnings here. But
sure.
one thing I do appreciate about you, I get a lot of people that request a lot of things from me. Rarely do I have someone that approaches me with value to add. But if you're looking to, find something to do in this space, don't just go to random YouTubers and be like, "Hey, what can you give to me? What can I?" But what value can you offer to them? The same thing when I ran my business, I would have people get together with me and they're like, "Do you have any jobs available for me?" And I'd be like, "Well, what kind of a question is that?" Like,
Yeah.
it's
What
better.
value can you add?
Yeah, exactly. And I appreciated that about you. Also, Tycho, if Tycho's watching, he did the same thing. He approached me,
Yeah.
said, "Hey, I can do this, 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 and this. It would really help you." And the same with him. He had to poke me many times. And then eventually I was like, "Okay, yeah, let's do this." One
Yeah.
question I had for you, what was kind of the most, so you put in a lot of hustle,
Mhm.
especially at the beginning to, make all this stuff happen. What was the primary motivation, or was it a combination? Was it, wanting out of your 9 to 5, or a passion for DeFi, or what would you say was kind of the biggest motivator for being able to hustle like that?
Yeah, no, that's a good one. The hustle at first was just enjoying the space, and the welcoming the space, how welcoming the space was, and how many good, like, as much as we have the not so nice people in the space, there are some really great people in the space, and that's what I was so happy meeting these people. Like I said, Kitty and Hashing was so welcoming. They had such a great community that started building my passion. Before, it was just sort of, okay, let's see if I can get rich. The normal, let's get into the space, I'm going to make 10x, 100x, whatever, the normal whatever. And not only that, before Kitty and Hashing, a lot of it was me realizing that there was a way to win in the space, but you had to do it very methodically. You had to put thought behind it. We even talked about that actually in Utah with a lot of them. It's like a lot of people just come in throwing money in different things, shiny things, and expecting to work. So I started just educating myself, and in turn, people ask questions, and I'd educate them, and I'm never shy to give an opinion. So overall, basically, I think the biggest thing was just me getting a passion for the space and for the technology and for what it could be, and that's what kind of drove it. And then it turned into, over time, hey, I could maybe leave my 9 to 5 for this, and that obviously helpful from you taking me on, and allowing me to earn an income in the space that way. That was a little bit more than what Wealth Mountain was, and then growing it that way, it really started opening my eyes to what was possible.
Okay, very good. And actually, I just decided while you were talking, I decided at the end of this video, I'm going to give away 250,000 Biofi. Okay, in honor of Justin
Nice.
Pocket Aces. I just wanted to give something away, and I was like, what do I have that I could give away? The answer is Biofi. I have Biofi sitting around, so we'll do that Biofi. So stick around till the end of the video. Another question from the audience that I thought this was
Shoot.
good. Well, first off, JB says hello. He can't make it, but he wants to say hello.
Hi.
Jay says, I want to be like Pocket when I grow up. So that's good. Dustin asks, can I quit my 9 to 5 yet? Do you want to tell us about the decision and when you decided,
Yeah,
okay, I can go ahead and it's quite the plunge to make
it is.
quitting your 9 to 5. Do you want to tell us about maybe what you were feeling and when you decided it was okay? And, was it scary? Kind of talk us through that a bit.
There's also another variable to that. There's also getting the wife on board. That was probably the biggest hurdle, to be honest
Mm,
with you. I think I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, but never actually seeked out to become one. And that's what I think I've been driving or having a problem with, or having anxiety, not even depression. Like, we all go through stuff, right? I'm not going to woe is me or anything, but um, throughout my whole entire life, I've jumped from job to job. I spent a good 12 years at one bank doing the 9 to 5, but in the most part, I'd started jumping around, started realizing I could add value to places, did add value to places, and then really didn't get anything in return. So I know I'm digressing a little bit on the question, but I'm getting there. So that obviously gave, when I stumbled on this whole thing and started making something of it and started realizing I had skills to offer and that I didn't think it really added value, but I found a place where they did add value. That's what started the motivation for figuring it out. And you're right, it was very scary because I still am not necessarily making, like, you know how many irons I have in the fire. They're not, very few are actually making me anything really yet. But I do have, what my goal is making $1,000 a week without using my investments in DeFi and all that stuff. And so between a couple of the paid jobs, I have about $400 or $550 that I get a week, and then from there, I just need to earn the other 400. I got to the point where I felt comfortable enough doing either YouTube videos or doing other odd things where I could earn that other little bit comfortably. And that's what was probably my trigger and why I kind of went to my wife and said, look, I've been now this many weeks, or even in that case, I think a month or two, making this. This is my one little nest egg that seems to be very consistent. On top of that, I built all these other things. And so because of all those backups, I feel comfortable, but it's still a hard, but at the same token, there's no good time. I think we've talked about that even. Like, there's never the right time to do it. You kind of just have to, like you say, make the plunge, and that's what it came down to, and that's where it was like, okay, honey, I can't keep working 80 hours a week, because I was burning out too, and that's the other trigger that kind of made me have to kind of decide, okay, what am I doing? Am I taking this leap, or am I going back to the 9 to 5 and giving up on this? So I took a month off. I asked work for, I got a leave absent or whatever, and got off work for a month so I could not have to take my foot totally out of that pile, or that job, and then did it for a month and kind of said, okay, this is done. I'm done.
Okay, very cool. No, a very inspiring story. And yeah, like, there's a balance to be had because it's kind of like, Hernan Cortez, that people always tell the story when he came to the New World, he burned the ships behind him because then he's like, okay,
Hmm.
now I have to find a way forward. So there's like a balance there of, yeah, taking the plunge. And then it's like, okay, now I have to figure it out. But then again, if you have a wife and kids, it's like, well, I don't want to, put
Yep.
myself in too bad of a position. So it's kind of a difficult balance I've found for
And
people to
super
make.
quick call out, Annette Lovett. Thank you for joining, James Pelton's new
Yes,
member.
yeah, I was going to mention that. Yeah, Annette,
I
thank you
thought I'd
for
do it for
joining.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
Because we are trying
community
to grow
manager.
that Discord. So that's something we'll talk about, I think, at some point today.
Yep.
Because we do
Yeah,
want
I
to keep
do. I do want to
adding
talk
value
about
there.
that. Yep,
So yeah.
absolutely. Next question. What is the percentage of take home you currently make on crypto jobs versus investments? And maybe we don't need this numbers necessarily, but what's the percentage of what you're supporting with the investments versus your modding and hustling and
Yeah, yeah.
project?
The hustling is really, I wanted that to be the 100% of my income to live off of. So really the investment side actually is not, I'm still quote unquote compounding it, not necessarily in the same project, but I'm spreading it out in DeFi. I still want to have my fun in DeFi, and that was the other thing that was made it hard to jump out of it right away, was because as soon as I jumped out and stopped the IRL income from coming in, I wasn't going to have as much in to play with in DeFi because I was going to have to start pulling it out. So my goal really was to create the revenue source from my hustling, my job, and then the investment stuff could stay and earn and grow, and then I'll systematically pull that out over time. So maybe at some point I'm going to get to it. Actually, very soon I'm hoping I'll get to the point where I'll maybe take 10% of my investments that I earn in DeFi and move it over to my holding company or something, and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Nope. I think that's helpful. And if anybody else has more questions, maybe let me know in the comments. Is anyone considering getting out of their 9 to 5 and they're just trying to get the pieces in place? And let us know, what are you doing? And, what's that process been like for you? Again, that's whenever anyone asks me, what's the goal for your channel? One of the goals is, if you don't like your 9 to 5, I want to help you get out of it. And passive income's a way to do that. Side hustles is a way to do that. So love that. Let's see comments here. How much does Pocket pay his clones? Yes, you are. How do you manage to be all over, pay attention to all things? Like, I can barely check my DMs. Like, how do you do all this?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
I don't know that I do it perfectly yet. I try and be accountable for everything, but we're still getting there. It's a lot of work. But then now I have the time, right? Like I had only so many hours in the day, and that was the other thing that was hard is family life and whatnot. As I could see it kind of not deteriorating. They were behind me and they supported me in this endeavor. But at some point, you can't do it forever, right? You can't do the 80 hours a week for months and months. Your body just can't handle it, even health wise and stuff. Like yesterday, you moved the date, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out for a bike ride. So
There you
because I
go.
want to get exercising, I want to get more active, and so this is giving me the time and the freedom to do it, which is amazing.
Okay. Very cool. Love it. Brad says he quit his job because he wanted to make me money. Yes. And again, providing value is always the way. Money will follow where value is created in a capitalist society. So focus on providing value and money will follow. Yep, love that. Boom, James giveaway. Yes, we will be doing a giveaway. I love the giveaways. For sure, we'll be doing that. Super granular question. And hello, Scott. Welcome. How do you handle health insurance, since the American construct is to typically get that from your employer? Funny,
So I'm
moved to
Canadian.
Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the answer to that. I'm Canadian, so we are very fortunate here. That kind of stuff. There are benefits that we have at our employers, which I've lost out on. Like I do. Don't get me wrong. I like some nice things in life. I like going for a massage, getting my chiropractor, all that stuff. So that stuff we've had to put on the back burner for now. They're not needs based per se. I feel like they are sometimes, but yeah. So I put it on the back burner. My wife works as an OA at a school, so she's not full time yet because she just changed careers as well a year ago for her health, which was very awesome to see her do because she does not like change. So she hopefully will get full time at some point. We'll have benefits for that, but we're pretty lucky here in Canada. I mean, as much as there's things that we hate about all our countries we live in, I can't really complain.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say for US people, first off, since the Obamacare marketplace opened up, if you don't make very much, which when you first go self-employed, you're probably not. There's not going to be a ton of income into your there's not going to be a ton of income at first. And so then the marketplace, the Obamacare marketplace, if you make a lot, it's terrible. I mean, you're paying $2,700 a month. But if you make, $60K or less, then the marketplace, you like, $300 a month, $400 a month. They have some really good plans. And I also found I've been self-employed for 8 years, 9 years, and I use MetaShare personally. So it's a Christian company, but it basically is like a cost sharing health insurance, which is kind of the Canadian way of doing it. And it's been very affordable for my family. It's like $600 a month. So there's options out there. So, and maybe I could do a video on that, because that is a lot of times the benefits are what keep people from making that plunge.
Yeah.
So like, oh, I don't want to miss out on health insurance and things like that. So definitely can talk more about it if we want to. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, let me know your questions, guys. These are great. Just things, anything you want to know. This is Pocket's time.
Absolutely.
So. Pocket, as we celebrate you, I want to let you know you've been a huge help to me. I'm thankful for your advice and your willingness to share your time and knowledge with all of us. So totally agree with that. This is always super
Anytime.
comfortable, right, Justin? All these people just compliment a video focused on complimenting you.
Yeah, not so much. I get a little shanty in the chair, but I do appreciate it. And even
Yeah,
people like Keith, he's the one, and a few others have reached out just asking questions, and I appreciate it. That's what gives me the joy in this, Saul, is being able to help others and help people. That's always what my goal has been, and this has been one space where I could do it in a lot more better scale than one-on-one with one customer a day or five
right.
customers a day than my past life. So, I it's huge. I'm so blessed, I guess, in a sense, for lack of a better term.
Yep. Nope, that's a good term. So I like it. I love what I do, but since my business is slow currently, I would love to build a business in this space. So yeah, Keith, let's keep talking about that. Let's get something put together. Let's get,
Good.
see what value you have to add, and then let's get something going. I'd love to help you however I can with that. So
Yep.
I'm planning on getting out of my 9 to 5, but DeFi is too risky to count on. I've been building blogs for passive income, and I'm going to start writing books soon. Yeah,
Nice.
what's your take, Pocket, on kind of on that with DeFi, just the way that it is? If somebody gets their passive income through DeFi to a certain level, it still is like, well, that could be gone next month. What's
Yeah.
kind of your view? How do you think through something like that?
Obviously diversifying, that's the easy answer, I guess, is a one-word one. Other than that, it's well, like you've done and like I've done now, is it's been creating my own, well, sorry, I shouldn't say my own projects. It's been other people coming to me because of what I've done in the space and because of the integrity I've shown in the space. People have actually come to me, and I've had the great opportunity of helping them develop projects and be a part of the team. So that for me has been kind of what helps de-risk me a bit. Now it doesn't, because we had, well, creative wealth. We're getting there, but it's a slow road back to zero. But so it's still risky, I guess. So it's really hard to say that actually helps de-risk me. But the idea is to have all these irons in the fire and kind of do that. And like I said, by earning income in the space, I can play with that income in this space as opposed to using what I need to live on my night on my day, like to live for my family and everything else. So it's a lot. It's a pretty darn big balancing act that you have to kind of figure out for yourself, and it's going to be different for everybody. But always happy to have conversations about that. I love problem solving, that kind of stuff, because there's a win-win at the end of that kind of tunnel.
Love it. And Annette, who just joined my community, says, I want to branch into crypto and learn to create valuable offerings too. So yeah, Annette, we'd love to help you on that journey. So amazing.
Yeah.
Go Canada, down with Trudeau. We'll just move on from that
We'll
one.
leave the politics for
Another day. Another day we'll do our politics discussion. I was on Obamacare when I was self-employed too. Yeah, Obamacare, as much as Republicans give grief, Obamacare actually, especially if you don't make a ton of money, is actually a very helpful thing for a lot of people. So, I mean, there's no perfect system, but that's something you could look into. I'd recommend too, there's agents around, like health insurance agents, where you just talk with them. They'll put together, hey, here's the best options for you. But yeah, before you quit your 9 to 5, maybe have a plan in place for that. But it's definitely doable. So
yeah, even people that think that we have it so good up here, we still have like waiting times to get to anything. Like sometimes I know people that have waited and unfortunately never made it out alive. Like, as crazy as that sounds, because of how much waiting they do, or they have to go to the States and somehow find a way to pay for it to get the care they
right.
need. So there's no perfect system.
Yep, absolutely. Scott wants to know, where do you hope to see your situation in 5 years?
That's a good one. Yeah, and I guess I got to start doing those goals now. I used to do them in past jobs, but I haven't really looked at this one that way because it's so short term, sort of. A lot of it right now, honestly, is just gathering whatever I can, trying to earn what I can, trying to do what I can to kind of build a nest egg, because this space, like we've talked about, is so all over the place. You can't bank, pun intended for my past job. You can't bank on anything, so you got to be careful. So for me right now, it's accumulating. Other than that, as I can, I want to help people. So I don't see it changing really in 5 years right now. It's just more growth, I guess, and just seeing where I can take this and where I can take me and others to higher heights in the space, and then navigate the space. But I guess if I was to think about it a little bit, one of my thoughts that I did have is trying to create legitimate places in here to keep growing, and try and make it something that can coexist with whatever the government decides to do in their infinite glory. So,
Leaving politics
yeah,
out of it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yep. Nope. Love it. And I think that's usually, my guess is that's the journey you'll take is, okay, I found my way. Now help others find their way. And so I
Yeah,
imagine you'll continue doing that. So Pocket, you're an inspiration in the space. What was your mom thinking spelling your name with a U at the end?
I don't know. I have no good story for that. Just like my black, there was no good story for that
Yeah,
down in
there's
Utah.
no good story.
Yeah, so they sounded it out. I don't know, but it stuck. And if you guys know French, it's Justin, so just one of me, thank God. So, so we go with that route for the fun that it is. But yeah, I don't know.
Gotcha. I only know James and Pocket through YouTube, but the honesty and openness of you two gives me a large level of trust in you both. I've slowly been learning lots. I'm a slow, cautious learner. So amazing,
Nothing wrong with
Dustin.
that.
Thanks. Yep. Thanks for being part of it. Looks like he's Canadian as well. So,
Yes.
and a Warbot holder. So amazing. If Pocket's freedom now is the full-born baby, my situation for getting out of the rat race is at the embryo stage, hoping the pace will increase steadily. Very glad to be in your team, guys. So, Tommy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let us know what are you doing? What are you trying to accomplish to make that progress out? So, Dan mentioned he was writing a book and was doing some blogs. But yeah, would love to hear other ideas and what people are doing. So.
Yeah, I think that's one thing to get across is people need to really focus on what they can do, because it's not just put money into an investment and magically you're rich. You have to work at it. It takes so much effort.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and it's one thing, if you have $1 million from something else and you can bring that into DeFi, then yeah, you can probably make, a significant, like that's kind of what my monthly videos are, right? Is like I make 50K a month but it's because I had a business that I brought a lot of money to the space. And so if you're starting, again, I've told Pocket this many times, one of the most common questions I get is, if I have $500, what should I invest in? And I say, invest in finding a way to make more than $500. Because it's just,
well, and I guess that's the thing. And one thing I guess that I kind of put across when we're going through this, and sorry, we'll get to peace and meditation, but is that I literally was down to, like, I'm going to say maybe a couple of grand left in DeFi after I'd lost a bunch. And so I've taken that along with the income I've earned inside the space while I was doing my 9 to 5 and didn't have to exit that liquidity. I've just been building off of that. So I've been building from like a $500. That's where one of my challenges, I took $1,000 and put it into 4 different investments, and I'm growing that slowly and steadily, just to show people how you can do it. But it doesn't happen overnight. It's taking weeks and weeks, but that's okay. So yeah.
Absolutely. Peace Meditation, which that's a good name. I like it. But it says, I lost track how many times PocketAces has helped me out on Discord. Yes, me too.
No worries.
Honestly. This is a good one. I have yet to hear what Pocket does. What does he do? And then Keith says, that's the wrong question. You should be asking, what does Pocket not do? But yeah, maybe you can, maybe you kind of explain what you've been doing in the different communities a little bit more.
Yeah, so a lot of it. So obviously, the start of it was modding. That's kind of what started it. Plus the videos, I guess, too. But basically, I do videos trying to walk people through, trying to help people through. We've obviously hit landmines. I try not to do Ponzi nomics. I try not to do, and that's been an evolution for me and every YouTuber really. And then obviously the modding. So the modding is either creating the Discord, moderating the Discord, or having conversation with people, just being helpful. A lot of moderators, unfortunately, I feel get hired on because they're a fanboy of the protocol, and unfortunately, it's probably not the right way to do it, because they usually end up thinking everything is FUD. So a lot of what I do in my Discords is, and especially the ones that get heated from time to time, is it's more about bringing the fanboys down and the fudders up, and realize that they all are out for the same thing. And that's been my superpower inside Discords, I guess, if you will. Other than that, it's just managing the different protocols that I've kind of been invited to help out and grow. And so we're just trying to figure out ways to grow those to bigger things and help create some passive income for people with the tools we have right now, and then hopefully over time help grow some real tools that can help us all really excel out of this. So
awesome, love it, man. Congrats, Pocket. Your journey is inspirational to many of us.
Hey, pro.
So, and yeah, just want to remind everyone, we're going to be doing giveaway soon, so stay tuned for that. Should I bring this up?
I saw that one.
Any comments or updates on PGV? I don't want to take
you
too
guys
much
all
time
have.
on this.
I will be super quick, and that's fine. I don't mind hitting this when it gets asked. It is what it is. Like that, again, part of our mistakes. We've all made mistakes. We all trusted in him. He made us trust in him because he paid us back 2 or 3 times. and gave us a lot of false hope. And it is what it is. As for updates, you guys, if you guys are in it, you know what's happening. Nothing that we know of right now. There's been some rumors of some refunds happening. Until we see money in our wallets, it really means nothing. So let's hope he comes through and saves everybody, because the saddest thing about that whole entire thing is how many people were only in that project, and
Right.
that were brought in from outside, and this is their first DeFi investment. And as much as even I did in the Discord, as well as on my videos, said, don't get into USDC until he pays back USDT. It didn't stop people from just automatically getting the refund and going right into the other one. And it's so unfortunate. But anyways, that's it.
Right.
That's all for that, guys.
Okay. Yeah.
I care for
Probably,
everybody that's going through this, but
some people's first DeFi experience and probably their last as well.
yeah. And it's sad to see that, because there's no reason. If they had it diversified, that would have been a drop in the bucket. And unfortunately, people went way too heavy. So
yeah,
well.
totally agree. Let's see. If you have a portfolio, what is your recommended amount and how much should you invest in each one? Also, taking profits versus saving capital for covering potential losses.
That's a loaded one.
Yeah, that's a loaded one. Maybe we'll just ask, like how do you kind of, I know you have your leg philosophy.
Yep.
Kind of tell us a little bit about your portfolio philosophies.
So so the 1K wallet challenge is probably the best one to kind of illustrate it. But yeah, it's, for me, it's because we don't know what to trust, what not to trust. We obviously do the best research we can, but by diversifying it into, for example, with $1,000, I felt like 4 legs was a good starting point. It's still hard, as you know, putting 250 in one thing and then putting 1,000 into one thing can have a different weight to it. But the problem is you put that 1,000 into one thing and you're done if something happens to it. So by putting the 250 into 4 different legs, you can then, what my philosophy is with that challenge, and where I think I've kind of ran myself and got myself there, is that $1,000 now is in 4 projects. You then raise with those 4 projects another 250, and you add another leg, and then you get it up to hopefully 8 legs. From there, my thoughts on it and how I'm running that one is, you pull out your profit now. You take your $1,000 out, because it'll take you fairly little time with those 8 or 7 or 6 if something happened to one of them. You pull your profits out, and now you're all house money with that money. Now you can take that $1,000 and go somewhere else with it, while you build this little thing that keeps growing and growing. As for percentages, it really depends. You got to be careful and kind of, not financial advice, but go through and go, okay, is this one really risky? Okay, I'm making 1.5 a day. Maybe I'm not going to put any more than 5 or even 10% tops, even then, even 1% of my portfolio in that. But that depends on how much you have. You can take the risk if you're only dealing with $1,000 and that's all you have. Maybe you can take the risk and put a quarter of it in that risky one. And that's how my leg one went, is I put 250 in, I think it was PGV, and Wolf Capital. So I had kind of half in DGeny stuff, and then I put half into lower risk stuff, and they're all kind of paying and gradually. And I'm going to get up to my 6th leg, I think, next week, which is good. And then it should keep compounding quite quickly after that. So.
Awesome. Nope, I think that's super helpful. And again, what I recommend to people is listen to a bunch of different people and how they handle their portfolio. And then, kind of you put that in with, first off, your relationship with your spouse, because they're going to have opinions on how this should be done. And then also, just your risk reward. How important is the money that you're investing to you? That's obviously, if you need that money, you're going to want to do less risk. And so, but just listen to a bunch of people, and you take all that into the stew of your inner workings, and then you come out with a strategy for yourself. So,
yep, absolutely.
Totally good.
And I guess that's a good point. For me, even a lot of my learning in my life has always been that it's take whatever I can from everybody and then make it my own. And through doing that, I've created some really good success for myself in different jobs that I've been in. And that's part of what's done this, right? So.
Yep, absolutely. And we got some celebs in the house. We got your
Hey,
bonks here. Go follow your bonks on YouTube. And we also got Jack's passive income. So he says, I try to keep 60 to 70% liquid. So go follow your bonks and Jack on YouTube for sure. And Justin as well. Go follow him on YouTube. Again, subscribing doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you anything. So you might as well go subscribe. So appreciate that. If it wasn't for Pocket and a larger community I am a part of with him, I would have left crypto over a year ago with a massive negative portfolio. Thank you for helping me stop the bleed and survive. So he knows me as Suitor. So
yes, I do. Yeah.
You're another thing Pocket's great at is he remembers. Like, I talk to a lot of people, but I can't remember who's who. But Pocket remembers all these
It's
things.
PF. What throws me off is when they change their profile pic, because
Yeah.
that's where I'm a visual guy.
Oh
That's what
yeah.
gets it.
Yep. You know what's was really difficult meeting people in person. We went to
Oh
this
yeah.
conference last week, and everyone would be like, "Hey, I'm Mike," and then I'm like, "Mike," and then they'd be like, "Oh, my Discord name is this." I'd be like, "Oh, what's going on,
Hey.
man?" Give him a big
Yeah.
hug. It's like good to see you. So, yeah, that was fun. Tycho's in the house. Hey guys, looking sharp, both of you. And again, Tycho's another guy. Tycho, I'd love to have you on the channel sometime too, because you've done a similar thing where you looked for people, found value for people, and then were able to make a business out of just finding value for people, hustling. And it's like, what would they need? What can I do? What would they need? And so I'd love to have you on as well. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and I've even talking to him a lot too, and learning from him too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
he's amazing. What are your plans with creative wealth?
All right. So for those who are, so that's a private community that people are invested in. So I don't know who knows what about it, but basically we took we ended up raising $1 million in a pretty short time, which was mind blowing. And we invested it in live traders. So we're also very transparent about everything. Like I try not to, it's too hard to lie because you end up spinning a really crappy web.
Amen. Amen.
So so we ended up having live traders. We had 8 of them. We thought we were so happy with how we had set it up, and that we'd seen nothing like it. Unfortunately, we had some hiccups with the traders. We think they either went on tilt. We don't know exactly what happened for sure. But we lost 400K. So we're back up, I think about 70 or 80. So we're about 18% back up from where we were. And this week looks like it should be another good one to get us another couple of percentages up. And we're just going to keep building until we get back to even. Once we do that, everybody will have a choice whether they want to stay or leave. But hopefully by that point, the really cool thing that's happening here is we're diversifying our portfolio nicer, and we're creating some really good revenue sources for everybody. So hopefully it'll be a really nice win for everybody. I mean, the cheers that I'm going to want to cheers a whole lot of people for sticking around while we get that back when we get there. Both Tech and I are pretty excited for that day. And I don't think it's that far off. We're doing a lot of things in the background to make everybody whole as quickly as possible. So one of those things is, and I guess we'll go into that a quick little bit, is hopefully you're going to be setting up some Forex bots again after a little hiccup there once we get everything cleaned up, and then we'll start selling Forex bots again here. And those revenues, any of the revenues Tech and I get, will be fed into Creative Wealth to get our holders back to square. And so we won't be earning literally a penny off of any of this work until we get everybody squared up. So,
yep, absolutely. No, and that's one of the plans for the Forex bot NFTs. Again, I just don't know that the Waka bot is the 2 or 3% a month is not good enough for the risk. Like we had the 1 month where we lost 14% in a few days, and it's just not worth it. That's 5 months of profit. And so I just also too, I don't think I want to be a project runner. I'm not I have too many things going on to like really give it the focus it deserves. So been a good learning experience for me too. But we're doing refunds for some people, moving some people to Warbots, moving some people to Creative Wealth. But yeah, appreciate you helping out with there. So
no worries.
Coming in late, there he is, looking sharp.
Hey, Colin.
Pocket. So Colin says hi. I heard that Pocket was able to quit his 9 to 5 because he got rich off drip. Don't let this whole hard work rumor convince you otherwise. So Scott,
I have, I think, 30 drip. Just FYI, I literally, I think I have 30 drip because I had to get into wallet thinking I was going to get airdrops back in the day. Never touched it since.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's stories. And actually, Scott, I've been seeing you call out drip on Twitter with different people. And actually, I liked a couple of your comments. Then I realized, actually, I probably shouldn't like this. That's going to cause some drama. But no, Scott and Drip have a good relationship, interesting relationship. Crypto Andy, Pocket is the man.
Hey.
Yes, good to see you, Andy.
Also, go follow Crypto Andy.
Yes, go follow Crypto Andy as well. Thank you for the answers. It's something I've been really struggling with coming to terms. Yeah, and what I would recommend is until you kind of are comfortable with your portfolio distribution, start with the low risk stuff and get comfortable with that before you start. The degen higher risk stuff is it's a different beast that playing around with that. So I would recommend start with the lower returns, the lower risk. You know, people ask me, what's your first crypto play you would make? And I tell people the first thing I would do is buy Bitcoin because it's the most simple. It's the safest. It's long-term thinking. But then you can start getting down into some of the other stuff. So
I should technically
Um,
do a shameless plug for Voltech there, because that's kind of what we're trying to do, is diversify people through that project. And it's going quite well, actually, right now. We're getting some pretty decent returns for everybody, but we're also compounding 50% of it. So it helps them grow without having to think about where should I put it, and stuff. So that one's quite proud of what we're creating there with Ludo and I. So
there you go. Yep. So Voltech might be a good one for new people to get into. So it's
mhm.
vol-tech.xyz, and it's fine to shamelessly plug things on a video devoted to you. So
There you
it's
go.
not really shameless. So I'll post a link to it. There's the website. But how is that going? The pre-sales going still? Is that right?
Yeah, so we basically no, it's not the pre-sale. So every week we set up another. We put out a bunch of tokens, and basically we're maxing out at 250,000 tokens. So every week you can buy tokens, and then on the Friday, as you can see on the DApp there's a claim button. So every Friday, any tokens that were bought during the week can be claimed and then staked. Once you stake them, they then start working for you, and basically give you. There's epochs that we have every week that are basically taking all the 35% of all the revenues we earn that week, and we put them into an epoch, and they drip on you every minute, basically, throughout the week. All those funds get dripped on you. So there's zero Ponzi-nomics. We're paying out always in what we earned the week before, and just kind of keep it going. And with the investments we've made, we've got some pretty nice returns that we're getting from some things. The other neat thing too is, if something fails, so if one of our legs don't quite work out the way we want, the really cool thing is it doesn't stop the rewards from coming in, and then the compounding ends up getting us back on track and getting us back up to the treasury amount that we want. So it's not like it creates no bank run. There's no token on a pancake swap or anything that gets liquidated. It's just all OTC and all kind of its own little mini ecosystem. So.
Okay, very, very good. So we got a lot of Voltech fans in here. So yeah, nope,
See the
appreciate that.
comments. Thanks, guys.
Yep, I added the link to the description also, so you guys can check it out in there. Keith says my real name is Crypto Lover Crazy Man 23478. Yeah, he says that's why he is Keith. So when we meet in person, I'll say Keith, and he'll say yes, and then I'll know exactly who he is. So great.
Yeah.
Daryl says, "What's up, Pocket? It's the light. Grats on
Oh, hey.
everything." So yep.
Welcome, Daryl.
Justin and
Haven't seen you
Tycho
in a
are
while.
both great entrepreneurs. So are you, James. Thank you, Bonks. You as well, brother. You as well. Crypto Wealth Community is awesome team. Ben is here. Good to see you, Ben. What is the background Pocket has going on?
It's a
Looks
curtain.
like a curtain. Yep.
Yeah.
Curtain makes a good backdrop.
I came upstairs because I was tired of the darn. I'm in a basement usually, and so I've got a MacBook now, but I was in a basement usually, so I couldn't really be mobile because it was a desktop PC, and there's like a spare bed we have there just in case when people come over. That I just not as nice. So I think I come upstairs, get a little air.
Yep, there you go. Scott, interesting. Please save Aviate by letting them collaborate with iBots. They say they're interested. So yeah, I mean, if Aviate wants to partner, I could do iBots, could do Voltech, could do Creative Wealth, could do Warbots, but kind of make those
Josh
connections.
and I are talking. So
okay,
we are
very
talking.
good.
Hoping he'll take one of the options, because I think they can use a little leg up.
Yep. No pun intended. A leg.
Yeah.
Up, right?
Yeah.
Tycho, do you have a YouTube channel? Not yet, but maybe Tycho, maybe we'll get you going on YouTube here before too long. All right, let's do. I want to do this giveaway here pretty soon. Good question from Adam. Where do you two and or all the celebs in the crowd see the DeFi space in 5 to 10 years? So maybe Pocket, I'll let you go first since this is your video.
Perfect.
Then I'll get some thoughts as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to tell, but I do like we're kind of getting some IRL stuff starting, and I think for me it's the technology and how it can actually be used wisely. Biofi, I think, is a great example of what we can hopefully see from the technology as it evolves. But that's what I'm most excited about is how is the blockchain going to be used as a whole, for medical records, for deeds for houses, like the stuff that we all talked about and what got us all hooked in the originally, that hasn't come to fruition yet. And how is it going to change the financial industry as a whole? I'm excited to see how we can maybe level the playing field for everybody and not have so much poor and upper class. Because right now we're, in my opinion, not to get political, but we're getting into a path where we're just increasing the gap between the poor and the rich, and the middle class are becoming the poor. So I'm hoping this technology is something that actually could very loosely help towards that. But it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of people, a lot of white hats in the space to come through and make that happen. So That's a quick synopsis, I guess. It's so hard to tell.
Nope. Yep. That's good. I would echo all that. I think there's always going to be money grabs. There's always going to be scammers and money grabs and Ponzi's. I was actually looking at the history of Ponzi schemes, and they've always been around. Like they'll find a way anytime they can. They'll find a way to do it. So keep your eyes out for those because they're going to keep coming up. And so it's just something
I think more sophisticated.
Yep, going to get more sophisticated. So that's one thing. I think a lot of the space will be cleaned up, though. I hope in the next 5 to 10 years, people will learn their lessons that, hey, we can't do this. Hopefully, after 5 years of losing in this and that project, we learn, okay, we can't do that anymore. But yeah,
Till the next bear or bull.
Yeah, yep. But I'm with Justin. I hope that the next, I hope that real life assets start getting mixed with the blockchain in a better way that makes it more useful, and then there'll be better returns with that for sure. So Scott says changing the accredited investor law would go a long way for helping, and there's legislation in the works that we should all support. Yeah, totally agree. Honestly, well, again, I don't want to make this political, but the more I study the government and what they're doing, I don't know if you guys saw that in the US, there was an accounting error. And we misplaced $6 billion that was supposed to go to Ukraine. So now they're sending another $6 billion that they said, oh, we were supposed to have sent this before, but we miscalculated. $6 billion is a lot of money to miscalculate. We think Manny is bad with it, but this is $6 billion. And we're kind of like, oh, do better. The Pentagon their budget is missing $3 trillion. It's like that's trillion with a T. So anyways, I digress. Let's go ahead and do this giveaway before I get all political. So what we're going to do, giveaway. Let me pull up my handy dandy StreamYard giveaway thing here. Let's do #Justin with the U. So you have to make sure you spell it correctly. #Justin to be entered in. I'm going to give away 250,000 Biofi. It's on AVAX. Go ahead and start commenting. I might want to win too. I'm going to hashtag.
I want to win.
Yeah, no, feel free. Feel free, Justin. If you won, that would be so fitting. So we got 3 people in there. I'll give you guys, I'll give you 15, 20 seconds. Again, if you're not watching this live, you can't do it. Inevitably, every time there's people who watch the video later, the recording, and are trying to do the giveaway. This is only for live people. You got an I in there. Better redo it.
Don't spell check for people on their phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Hard worker. True, but it's not going to get you entered. It might be case sensitive. Funny Turo says it is.
He
says it's case sensitive.
I tested it because I did one that you did, and I didn't care if I won. Sort of, not that I didn't care, but you know what? So I did the case differently, and then I never show up in the little like flashy of things. So yeah. Okay, gotcha. Can you enter multiple times? No. Also, it only lets you enter one time. Also, Andrew, this is only on YouTube, unfortunately. I think. Actually, maybe not. Oh, true.
I don't know because it's a StreamYard giveaway, so maybe it works on Facebook. I take it back. That might actually work.
Yeah, that might. I think it would. I'm gonna go with it works. We'll find out. Let's look at his profile pic and find it. Don't forget, Social Security is the very definition of a Ponzi. Let's not get into that. Let's go ahead and draw. We got 47 entries. This is for 250,000 Biofi on the AVAX chain. And ironically, Justin will probably be the one to help get it to you. Whoa! Yeah. Whoa! Our brand new member, Annette. Congratulations. She just joined the community today and won her first giveaway immediately. So amazing. You know what? I'm going to do one more. Let's do one more 250,000 Biofi. So we got one for Annette. So Annette, you just need to get in touch with Pocket. Pocket, do you want to put your or Tycho put your Discord? Yeah, just if you've joined the community, just hopefully you've got the link to the Telegram. You can DM me in there or in Discord for sure.
Yep. And then we'll do #hustle for this last one, another 250,000. After this, I better stop myself, or I'll give away all my Biofi. And when it hits $1, this 250,000 Biofi will be a good giveaway for sure. So we're going to do #hustle. Richie, good to see you, brother. So yeah, the replay will be available. The giveaways won't be there, but no, you can definitely watch the replay. So it's been a good discussion for sure.
Yeah.
Hashtag hustle. We got 31, 32. We'll give you guys
And
another...
I did not see Andrew's cup in there, by the way, so I don't know if it works on Facebook.
Okay. Yep. So and
I'm gonna look again,
still
but
unsure if this works on Facebook or if it's YouTube only. So it would make sense it would work on Facebook since we're streaming to all these different places.
you'd think, but yeah.
We're going to look back at this day as the new version of Bitcoin Pizza Day. Yeah, with Biofi, hopefully. I mean, one of my goals is to get them. Well, I want to just keep cutting zeros. So, it's like, okay, let's get the next zero cut off. We're working on liquidity stuff because liquidity is where you can kind of get that bottom anchor price. So next time we break a zero in Biofi, we want to get some liquidity in there. So, maybe this 0.001. Then we get some liquidity in there, and then we can make that's the new bottom. And then we can get up to 0.01, 1 cent. There's the bottom. Then 10 cents. There's the bottom. And then, yeah, Lord willing, if we ever get to a $1, then, yeah, 250,000 Biofi would be worth quite a bit.
Darn nice.
So, all right, let's go ahead. Hashtag hustle. Going for this now.
Mug is there. All right,
okay,
Facebook
Mug is
did get
there.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I missed.
Winner is Daryl. Hey, Daryl, winner. Congratulations, man. So yeah, Daryl, reach out to Justin or Tycho. We'll get you that.
He's already in my DM. So
okay, perfect.
I know him well. He's a good guy.
Awesome. Well, hey, I think we're gonna wrap up here. Unless anyone has any other comments, Justin, do you have any motivational, inspiring words or anything to kind of see us off?
No, I just appreciate everybody. Honestly, I just want to thank everybody else because, like you do in all your videos and stuff, I've appreciated the journey that I've gone on, and it's been thank you to a lot of people who have reached out to me and all this stuff. So I can't be more thankful for where I've gotten in such and really a short time when you think about it in the space. I mean, long time in this space, short time in life in DeFi. So I appreciate it so much. The other thing that I guess I didn't talk about journey and stuff like that is getting into communities. I don't think I really talked about how important that is and getting into communities like James Helton. So we do have the Discord that we're growing and going to try and find some better value to add to all the people that are joining. Obviously, it's my Discord, but then Crypto Labs, who was on here calling earlier, we met them in Ohio. Great group of people, and they have a great community as well. Claire, I guess, actually had that video with you where they went through all of those different ones that are available. As much as it seems weird to pay to be part of a community, oftentimes you get the best group of people in there because they want to be there and they want to learn, and so it creates really good synergy with everybody. So do keep that in mind. So other than that, no, I just appreciate everybody, and thank you so much to all the people that came by. Obviously, lots of comments I see, so obviously lots of people joined us, which is totally humbling, and I appreciate you all. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, we want to do some big things with our community, want to just be as helpful as possible. And yeah, Justin's a big part of making that happen. Also, I want to, if somebody says, send me Bitcoin and you'll get double back, do not do it. Okay. This is for free. You don't even have to be part of my community. I'll give you this tip. Anyone asking you to send them money and they'll send you more back, do not do it. Okay. Yeah. Do not do it.
And sorry, Crypto Andy also has a really great free community. I should have called him out. I said paid ones, but the free ones are also great too. Yep. And Yabonks. So many communities. There's so many. I can't even name them all. There's too many.
There's a lot of communities out there. So just find the one that resonates with you, and that's what I recommend. So we'll go ahead and wrap up there. Hope this is inspiring for everybody. Hit like on the way out. Appreciate you, audience. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you, Justin. Again, you've been a huge help for me.
Thank you, James.
Yeah. A mutual thanks, right? Yeah. There we go. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Hope you have a great Wednesday and take care. Bye-bye, everybody.